I know the difference. And what we eat, like what we eat gathers us. What we eat nourishes us. And most of us are being poisoned by our food, and that's not how it should be. Nobody deserves that.
Welcome back to the Hopeaholics podcast. I'm your girl, Natalie Eva Marie.
And I'm Chad Carlson, and you're listening to the #1 addiction and mental health podcast.
And you guys, if you or a loved one is struggling, make sure you head to askevamarie.com or chaddick.com and chat with one of our AI companions 24/7.
Or text the number right here on the screen.
Together, we are breaking the stigma around addiction and mental health.
And fighting the fentanyl epidemic.
Now, let's get into the episode.
Chloe, welcome to the Hopeaholics podcast.
Thank you.
We're live. We're rolling now.
We are. You're in the hot seat.
You're in the hot seat.
Welcome.
Thank you for having me. This is awesome.
Yeah, thanks for coming. Thanks for reaching out. Super excited to get to know a little bit more about you, and also about the what you're doing, because it's pretty incredible.
I mean, you're super young too. So, like, that plays a massive role in it, in stepping into a family business is, I would say, incredibly difficult, but at the same time, you have to grow up pretty quick to be able to take on a role like that, especially in that realm, in that field. I feel like that's what I'm, like, interested to see, like, how that transition for you really came about and stepping into that role.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've grown up ranching and in agriculture my entire life, so it's always something I've been called to do. But like any kid in a small town, I was like, get me the heck out of that town. And so I left and went to work on some other ranches, and it was great. But the whole time I just had this like really strong gut feel that my mom wasn't healthy and something was up, and that ended up being a stage 4 cancer diagnosis. And the only thing I knew to do was to go back home and to help my family. I think I was like 19 at the time, and just immediately stepped into helping run our ranch and Parker Pastures, the meat company. And the more I did it, the more I was like, oh, wow, our food system it's wrecked. It's broken. Yeah. And not only is that affecting us physically, has seen my mom battle cancer at that point. I was like, okay, what is this coming from? Like, I'm a why person. I'm like, I want to know the why. But then also just like, what does that mean spiritually? What does that mean mentally? And I was like, okay, I really don't know what I'm doing. I kind of know, because I've had a little exposure just growing up. But it just became so apparent that I was supposed to continue on just the mission of just like providing healthy food raised in a way that was actually healing to the environment, not poisoning all of us and the land. Yeah. And so, yeah, right before I turned 20, I like officially took over. And then a few months later, my mom went to heaven, and that was just like, really, really hard on every level. And really made me realize this wasn't about me or myself, or even my dreams. It was like, I just believe that people deserve to have clean food, and we should be nourished. Like, food should heal us, not harm us.
Yeah. We couldn't agree more. And I mean, just from my own experience, with food is I was just eating whatever, I thought I always was eating clean and eating healthy. And then I started getting older, and I started having like problems such as high blood pressure, high cholesterol, all these things that the doctors wanted to put me on meds. Can you turn my headphones up a little bit? And just for my voice. I was not willing to go on pharmaceutical meds to combat my high blood pressure, especially because it was really high. Like at one point, 165 over 101, like just chilling, Mm-hmm. So I started studying some stuff, and I don't remember, was it you? It was you. Yeah, it was you. You mentioned Gary Brecka, and I started following Gary Brecka, and I was like, wait a minute, maybe I should be eating organic. Maybe I should be eating single ingredient food and really watching and cooking it myself. And even what I'm cooking it in, everything matters. You know what my blood pressure is today? And I don't take any meds at all. It's like 120 over like 78.
Wow.
Because I changed my diet to real clean food. Now, don't think I don't cheat every once in a while. I go get me some what, Tillamook, whatever you call it.
Tillamook ice cream.
I call it Tillamook ice cream. But hey. So you grew up on a ranch your whole life?
Yeah, I've always been around. I think my first word was cows.
Wow.
So I've always been around agriculture and ranching. And from like a young age, I just remember being drawn to just like the deep connection and intimacy to like the land and to animals, and just the people that were a part of it. And I think that's been a huge part of my entire life. But then, yeah, like 15, 16 kind of just really got disconnected from that. And just like, I think partially, I think food played a big part, also not having community, and just like, I mean, a lot of my generation and more of just being anxiety, like having a really bad anxiety and depression, and just like not knowing what's the purpose to life, or why was I even on this planet. And like, it got so bad that I was like, I don't want to continue on my life. And I remember I was on this hill, and just like rock bottom.
Yeah.
And I was looking down, and there was these female deer and her two babies, and they just like crossed my line of sight, and it was like a lightning bolt just like hit through me, and I was like, that's like when I believed in God, and that's also just when I was like, something about this connection. Like, we crave and are wired for connection to each other, to a higher power, to knowing where our food comes from, to the land and animals. And I think most of us feel really disconnected from that, and it's wrecking our health and well-being.
Yeah, for sure.
Do you have any siblings?
I have two younger brothers.
Okay. Do they work on the ranch as well?
They kind of have their own thing. I've always been the one who's loved it the most. Everybody's called to different things.
Yeah, for sure. No, I think that's like a huge thing, because as humans, we are supposed to connect with others and having that community. I think, when was it? I think 2021, I think, is when I went on my first hunt. So like I was always, I mean, my godfather was into hunting, and I've always kind of grew up around it, but I never had I guess it's essentially like the time to go do it, just because I was doing other things or was interested in other things at the time. But primarily what got me into it was because of this craze of our meat that is getting so processed, and just basically you think that you're buying certain things, and in actuality it's loaded up with a bunch of things that you have no idea what's inside that package. And when I went on my first hunt, I didn't know what to expect, but just being out there in nature and the connection that you have, because it's solitude. You don't have a phone, or if you do have a phone, it's literally just take photos, because you have no service, which I also thought that was also really healing, because we're so connected, or at least I am so connected to our phones, because we have them 24/7. And when you're bored, or when at any moment you're gonna
Scroll
or get on something or whatever, and that plays lots of tricks on the brain too. So being out there and then being able to actually harvest an animal was an experience that I became like a little addicted to, because of that connection. Because it's not about, like, people have a really distaste for people that are hunting, because of course there's always bad players in any field. It doesn't matter, you know. But the fact that it has this, you're providing for your family and community too, because obviously an elk can feed more than just myself, and at the time my ex-husband. But will never forget the first time, because I cried, but I didn't cry because I killed the animal. I cried because it was like I was so filled with like gratitude of making a ethical kill too, and then being able to take every single piece of that meat and utilizing what was given to us from it. And plus, it's the healthiest kind. Like that elk was out there just grazing and chilling and eating out as it should, nothing else.
Yep, that's amazing. That I think it's hard to think about death sometimes, but it's like that's a natural part of life, and an animal harvested that way that you hunted down in that deep connection. It's powerful. It's transformative.
It really is. It gives you this sense of gratitude for even when you're at the table. Or that's why I think food is so powerful in multiple ways. Like obviously it nourishes our body, but it's a form of you eat with loved ones. You know, you break bread, you sit down, and whether it's a good conversation or a bad one, you know, it's usually always surrounded by food. And what that food is, I think, is more so than what we like to think that it is. But I wanted to ask, like, when you were during that phase of kind of like 15, 16, when you kind of were in, I'd say, what, like dark kind of depression, what do you think that stemmed from? Looking back.
I think disconnection. And I see it like across this nation, especially like going into cities where it's like we're so busy or so focused on things that in all reality don't really matter, or like the next high, the next rush. And that's not real. And like social media is not authentic connection. And I think I was just so severed from things that were like real and actually meaningful. And yeah, it's like that, because I've lived both ways. And I know that when there is good community, when I'm not scrolling through social media every time I'm bored, or I actually know where my food's coming from. It's different. And it's, I think, what most of us desire, because that's how we're wired. Like we are actually designed and wired for that. And I think that disconnection just like broke me. And I think that's why I'm so passionate about like, where is our food coming from? But more so like, are we in community? Are we around nature? Are we slowing down enough? Because I think busy broke more marriages, broke more people, caused more destruction than we give it credit for.
Yeah. Yeah, I couldn't agree with you more. I mean, I just like you're talking and I'm like I'm literally looking at my life as you're talking and being like, how often do I tell somebody I'm too busy to have just, 2 minutes of my time or 5 minutes of my time, and I miss out on the connection, or on actually truly helping somebody through whatever it is that they're going through, just because like I'm going to do what? Probably nothing.
Wait for an email or another message or something.
Can we just, I mean, really quick, not really quick, this because this part's actually really important to me. Can you like tell us a lot more about Parker Pastures and what you guys do and the animals that you raise and how all of this works?
And how people can actually consume and grab and get and
all of
purchase it.
Yeah, Parker Pastures was started by my parents when I was like 5 or 6, because my mom especially wanted to provide us with clean meat, but it was super important that it was raised in a way that was actually healing to the land. Call that regenerative agriculture. There's a lot of different names for it now. And
what does that mean for like healing of the
land? So most food is grown with chemicals of some sort. Because we are obsessed about production in America. Like the same chemicals they used in World War I and II are used on our land to grow massive amounts of food. But that strips the land of nutrients. It kills bees, bugs, like all the things. And so healing the land, regenerative agriculture, like that's a lot about how do we steward land well. For example, herds of wild bison used to roam all across America, and they were followed by the wolves. And the wolves would be keeping these animals on the move, and so these bison they'd graze an area, but then they'd move to the next area and graze that because they had the pressure of predation. And grass is designed to be grazed, and ruminant animals like cattle, bison, sheep are designed to graze it. And so that is nature's cycle of grazing the grass, and then the animals move off that grass, and then it regrows, and then they come back and graze it again. And so like that's what we're doing with the cattle, except for we're not using wolves, we're using ourselves of like, and we're moving them across the land. And so what that is doing is that's creating healthy grass, which is going to feed healthy soil because all the soil microbes are fed off of the roots of those plants, and then healthy animals because they're eating grass that's grown well. Versus a different model might be like you just put a bunch of cows in a pasture, and the cows just keep overgrazing, which means the grass starts to grow, cow comes along, eats it, and then the grass kind of starts to grow a little bit. It's using its root reserves, trying to grow, and then a cow comes along and eats it again, and that's overgrazing, and is very destructive. That's a lot of reason why we have so much bare ground in America. And so regenerative agriculture is like what's the original design, and how do we steward land well? Because if we care for the land, it'll care for us. And so that's always been the foundation of Parker Pastures. And also feeding animals what they're designed to eat, because 95% of beef is fed corn at the end of its life, which completely screws up omega-3, omega-6 ratio. It's not what the animals are designed to eat, so then it's not what we're designed to eat. And so cattle should be on grass their entire life, grazing lots of different plants. So like all of our beef is grass-fed, grass-finished, lifetime graze. Like they're just on pasture. And like most labels you see in the store, it might say grass-fed.
Dude, this is a huge one for me because I just learned it maybe a few years back because I would see a label and it said grass-fed. And I'm like, dope, cool, great. But if you read the fine print, it has to say grass-fed, grass-finished for it to actually be completely what they advertise.
Dude, now let me ask you both this question, because I'm into this kind of stuff, and I'm not anywhere near as knowledgeable as either one of you, because I didn't know that right there.
Oh, you didn't?
No.
Yeah, that's great. It's
so
like that's like messed.
Grass fed,
crazy.
grass fed, right? Grass finished. Do they also sometimes you see meat that says organic? What does that mean? Beef that's organic, not meat, but specifically beef.
Yeah, so grass-fed means the cow ate grass at some point in its life, but there's actually no regulations around it, so kind of anyone could slap a label on it. Grass-finished means they spent the end of their life eating grass versus 95% eat corn. Organic, that doesn't necessarily mean it's grass-fed or grass-finished. It's just usually like what they're fed is organic feed.
Yeah.
And so I don't know. I've been down some rabbit holes, and most labels are lying to you.
Yeah.
And like the thing I've learned is like, okay, what does the meat look like? Because meat should not look like what it looks like in the store, where it's bright red. That's because how they package it is they add things to it. Meat should be like beef should be like a dark, like ruby color. That just showcases the nutrients in it, because where there's color and flavor, there's usually nutrients. And a lot of grass-fed beef or grass-finished beef is actually imported from other countries. I think like up to 85% of it. So it's not even American grown. So there's just a lot of things.
Like, sit on that for a second.
Where's it coming from? Japan sometimes.
It's a shame though. Because, like, look at how there's many places. I mean, you obviously at your ranch, and there's other places. I know that out in Oregon, Cameron Haynes just did a whole campaign because of trying to preserve land. Because, obviously, the government want to come in to strip land and build, as opposed to we need to keep as much land that is out there so that we can actually, like, how the circle of life works is, like you said, these animals are used to migrating and moving, and they're not doing that. they're ending up in like these little small contained areas, which is why you have what you said, the what did you say?
Overgrazing.
Yes.
Yes.
Exactly. And then it's defeats exactly what the whole purpose of what meat really is supposed to do to our whole ecosystem. And then okay, so then the organic is literally nonsense, right? Then
Yeah, pretty much.
why do you think the FDA doesn't do something more so about the misrepresentation of the labeling? Like, why is that so misguiding to so many people? Because I know for a long time I thought that grass-fed meant grass-fed. Cool. I'm getting some good quality meat, when that's really actually not the case. You have to really kind of like seek and search and make sure you're grabbing what you think that you're grabbing.
In 2016, I think it was the USDA removed like any regulation around the grass-fed label. So there was regulation and there was like some guidelines, but now there's not. And unfortunately, that's true whether we're talking meat or eggs or even vegetables, where it's just like there's just a lot of loopholes, or there's a lot like pay somebody something. And I think it's just the corruption and the greed of our food system, where it's been more about that than it is about people's health. And I think that's why I love agriculture and like farmers and ranchers who actually, which most of them do care deeply for the land and for the people that they're providing food for. We're just in a system that's just very corrupt. And so it's hard to get outside that system.
Yeah, let's talk about that for a second, because food, right? The corruption, it is big. Food is big business in the United States. Huge business. I mean, equal to or just below the pharmaceutical industry, which is insane, right? That's like two powerful, corrupt agencies that just, feed money to politicians. I mean, why do you think they're having such a big fight with anything that RFK Jr. is trying to do? Like anything good that he's trying to do, they're like, no, because like put some regulations on stuff. I mean, America is like, where are we? One of the most unhealthy countries ever now. I mean, it's terrible. And how many people, I'm 51 years old, how many people over 50, they're on at least 3 pharmaceutical meds by the time you're 50? 3 on average. It's terrible. Let's get back to the to the Parker pasture though, because while I'm doing this, I don't know, Lewis, do you have the clip? Because we do have a clip of Joe Rogan pulling them talking about Parker pasture on the Joe Rogan. Huh? You'll send. Yeah, we'll just keep talking while you guys get that going. But so we did notice that you were on the Joe Rogan Experience, being not you personally, but your Parker pasture was mentioned by one of his guests, and I feel like he got the information, like Gary Brecko talked about it, and I feel like I knew that already. Tell us a little bit about that. Yeah. About the fact that, I mean, how's that feel? It's got to feel kind of cool. Gary Brecka's talking about it. The Joe Rogan.
Joe Rogan is like the #1 podcast in
the world.
So that has to feel kind of good.
It was crazy. I had no idea it was happening until somebody like sent me that podcast. I was like, wait, what? But I think it just shows that our food system is so corrupt, and I think a lot of us are starting to wake up to that. And then it's like, okay, but where do you find good, clean food?
Yeah, where do you?
I'm really, the more I go down learning about the food system, I think it's either growing it yourself or knowing who's growing it, because even food at the store, mostly because of the labels, like you can't trust it, unfortunately.
Right.
And so it's like, starting a garden or local farmers market, or like Parker Pastures, we ship to all 50 states, easy way to get meat delivered to your door, because also it is hard to find the time to do the research, to figure it all out. Like that's a big process. And that's kind of one of the reasons I kind of continued on Parker Pastures of like, okay, I've seen all these like disgusting things they do to food, and I've never had to worry about the meat I was eating. Like that never was a thought that crossed my mind. And I want to make sure other people have that peace of mind. But most of us can't grow our own cows or, or beef or chicken or whatever. And so, yeah, there's a few amazing farms and ranches that I work with that are highly vetted, that I've done all the due diligence so that when anyone orders from Parker Pastures, it's just a good, clean meat delivered to your door, where you don't have to like investigate all of the labels on the grocery store. And it's same with like vegetables or fruit or whatever. It's like, can you know where it's coming from? Because if you can't, it's really hard to know what's actually true.
Yeah. This episode is brought to you by Wolfpack Bags. This gear is meant for anybody gym, lifestyle, to anybody that's on the move. I mean, I like to say that us here and everybody that tunes in, we're not average, we're always a wolf. They have all the goods that you need, especially for anybody that is looking for a bag to carry their meal prep, a lunch pail, anything like that. They have you covered. So once again, go to wolfpack.com, use the code Hopeaholics, save 10%, and join the pack.
I'm gonna start ordering all my meat from you guys.
I know, me too.
Super dope. What was my point? Oh, I wanted to talk about, because you were in talking about even like, you know, your vegetables and let's talk about eggs for just a second, because I literally only get the blue heron eggs that Peter's wife gets for me. She gets me like a big old carton of them. So you go to the grocery store, you buy eggs, even organic ones. I don't care. Costco has organic ones. You crack it and it's like yellow.
Like light
yellow. When I cracked my eggs, and I liked the yolk, man. The yolk's bomb. Yes, I don't know. You know, today I grabbed my egg out and it was weird shaped, and I was like, this one's got 2 yolks in it. I cracked it, boom, 2 yolks, and they were like the color of dark like orange.
Yeah, it's insane. I think that's what hurts my heart for not being in Texas, because I had my own chickens. And the big difference was going out and being able to pick up eggs myself and then go into my own kitchen and cook them. And then now that, because eggs is like literally, I basically eat the same thing. This is the only thing that I cook. But eggs is a part of that. Eggs and meat is literally part of it. And it kills me because every time I have an egg out here, I'm like, I don't think I should be even eating this, because it's not even remotely the same. Like the yolks alone, from getting 2 possibly in one, but like even the egg colors, I was so blown away, because they would all be different colors. So like we would give them away to our neighbors too. Like it's always fun, like you go to somebody's house and it's like you bring something and it's like, I bring you a carton of eggs. And the egg, how they would come out from like a brown to like, they're just all such different colors. When you grow up and go to the grocery store, they're all
white.
They're all the same.
Or brown.
Or brown. Mm-hmm. When that's like not real either. And then the yolks is what blew me away, where the first time I cracked one, I was like, whoa, is this even right? Because it was so bright.
I was worried that the egg was bad.
I know.
I have grown up on eggs that the yolks were like this light yellow, and I cracked this bad boy and I was like, is there blood in this thing?
Right.
Like I thought there was blood in my egg. And then I was talking to Peter, and he's like, and his wife, they like study all of this stuff. And his wife's like crazy. She's got me into juicing, you know, everything's all organic, single ingredient.
She goes to like the local farmer's market.
Oh, and she knows all the local farmers too. And it's changed my life. Like I've never felt so healthy in my whole 50 years. I started doing it like 18 months ago, and literally I tell you that I aged in reverse. If you look at episodes of this podcast a year ago to today, I look 10 years younger, and it's because of the food. My blood work, perfect now. You guys have what? Cows, bison, chicken? It says pork and lamb
and cows.
Yeah, so we have grass-fed, grass-finished beef, and then there's an awesome place that I get grass-fed, grass-finished bison from, and they do field harvest. So it's like best of the best. And then pasture-raised chicken, and it's like so dark in color where it's like it does not look like those gigantic chicken breasts that are white from the store, and I'm like, I am never eating that. And then grass-fed, grass-finished lamb. And I think I'm remembering everything.
Yeah.
There is lamb on my list.
Yeah. And anybody can order this, right? So anybody listening can literally just go to what, Parker Pastures, like IG or Parker Pastures.
ParkerPastures.com.
Okay.
ParkerPastures.com. I'm on it right now. You can buy a cow. It says buy a cow.
I mean, that's really the way to go. And if you have a home and a freezer, that's what you want to do. You want to buy a whole cow. I mean, that's what I actually.
Can I name the cow before I buy it, or?
You don't want to do that.
No.
That's like the code of you're not supposed to name your animals because eventually you're gonna eat it. You don't wanna eat
You had
Wilbur.
2 cows.
Yeah, I did.
Did you? You couldn't.
So I named them and then couldn't kill them.
Oh.
So that was like the whole point, is I was gonna eat these cows, and then after I named them, I'm like, I like these motherfuckers.
So let me ask you some questions about buying the beef from you, because you've got, obviously a dinner table box. You can buy a quarter cow, half cow, whole cow, around 350 plus pounds of meat, 1,000 meals.
Yeah, and when you break this down, like think about how much you spend on, say, a ribeye steak when you go to Whole Foods or like some other market, right?
How about I went to Rare Society?
Yeah, it's a restaurant though.
Okay.
Let's keep it simple.
All
Let's
right.
keep it for the people that are getting groceries. If you really like do the math when you're breaking your meals down, especially if you have a family, it is definitely cost effective to buy a half, a whole, or a quarter, if you can, because I mean, now I'm having like all of these
Can you see my
feelings.
screen?
Yeah, I can. I'm having all of these feelings of I should have taken the freezer back from Texas.
Yeah, I mean, that's the rancher's steak race. You buy a quarter, half, or whole cow, you get it. Usually the guideline I use is like couple individual, quarter will last about a year, family of 4, half a cow, and then like whole cow if you eat a lot of beef or want to split it again with like some neighbors or
For sure.
friends. And yeah, it's like you get everything for the same price per pound. You have a freezer full of meat. You don't have to worry about it. And also it's like you lock in that price for a year. And right now, the price of beef is going up because the price of cattle is like at an all-time high.
Saw it yesterday, like when we were shopping for our treatment centers. A thing of meat that was $21.99 went up $10 to $31.99.
Yep, and I don't know when that's changing because the cost of cattle is, I mean, it's crazy, it's insane, because we have like the lowest cattle numbers we've had since 1960s, and so there's super high demand but super low supply.
Sure.
And so that's gonna affect the price of beef. So whole cow in your freezer, you got a year's worth of beef. Yep.
I want to ask though, because I know that ranching and farming is actually extremely difficult to do, especially if you're making a living off of it. On here, the first year, you guys nearly went bankrupt because of trying to maintain. How difficult is it to maintain this mission? Because clearly, I can tell that you are on a mission for sure. So I think people miss too, like how difficult it is for farmers, for ranchers to actually not only provide such good quality meat, but also sustain to not only break even, but also to try to live life as well.
I think it's one of the most heartbreaking things that the people that grow our food, usually most farming and ranching families, somebody has to have an off-farm job just to make ends meet. It also has like one of the highest suicides of any career.
Wow.
And there's a lot of debt. There's a lot of just like hopelessness. And I think that's because of the system that most farmers and ranchers are in, where it's like corn is actually a good example. I mean, I think it's about the size of California of our nation grows corn, kind of across the Midwest. And I mean, a combine to like harvest the corn costs $1 million. So you got to spend like $1 million. Corn right now is the same price it was as 1970s, but the cost of everything was like $100 for fertilizer. Now it's $900. Or just insane costs. So you have all these insane costs, and then you have weather variability. And then you have just the fact that it's devastating to the land because of the amount of chemicals are sprayed on the land to grow corn. And I've just seen it's never the farmer or rancher's fault. It's a very, very broken system. And I think it's like, okay, so here we are, we're one of the sickest nations because of our food, but then the people that grow our food can barely make a living. And the average age of the American farmer or rancher is over 60 years old. And I'm like, if there was ever a time, if you have any inkling of going into farming or ranching, like, do it, because we need people, because we're a generation away from not having anyone to grow our food.
Damn.
And that's not good, because if we don't have anybody to grow our food, you know who's going to grow our food?
China.
I wasn't going that far, but okay.
Well, I mean, we're already, think about it, or 85% of our meat is getting...
Thinking the government, the
well, all in all,
bureaucrats.
All in all, it's not good. What do we need to do to help farmers and ranchers, besides obviously anybody that has like this calling to do it, stepping into it and starting, but for the ones that exist, like yourself and the others that you work with and others that you know, what is it that you think would be, I'm sure it's a lot, but just a couple things that could help at least sustain or help you guys stay alive, essentially.
Mm-hmm. I believe the best thing for health and also just like keeping ranching going is like buying from your local farmer or rancher, or maybe you do buy half a cow in bulk and have it shipped to your door, or because usually most of the time that's going to be the healthiest food, most nutrient dense food, and also most farms and ranches are family owned or they're very small, and so everyone who's buying food from them, that makes such a huge difference. And it's just a mindset shift of like, instead of going to the store, just go to the local farmer's market or go online and find somebody and they'll just deliver it to your door. There's like a lot of great options. It's just like that tiny mindset shift, which is going to make a massive shift for health.
Mm-hmm. How did you persevere during that time, during that year of like, not only did you just come off of losing your mom, which is devastating, but then also too, now you have the weight of maintaining this business. You're on a mission, and then the mission is feeling like I would assume kind of like a little bit of a dark hole, because now you're thinking like, oh my God, am I going to lose this business because of the financial just kind of overhead and upkeep, and thinking like it wasn't going to sustain. How did you dig deep and stay in it?
My faith was huge, and just realizing this calling was bigger than myself, and every time it gets hard, and it still does, I am just reminded that our food system is really dark, and I just need to be a light and provide people with healing food, because I know the difference. And what we eat, like what we eat gathers us, what we eat nourishes us, and most of us are being poisoned by our food, and that's not how it should be. Nobody deserves that.
So true.
I'm stuck on the website. I think y'all need to go look at the website, because like I'm like looking at the right now currently I'm looking at the quarter cow. What did you say we need to buy, a half cow or a quarter cow? What did you just say?
Usually good rule of thumb, couple individual, quarter cow, half cow, like family of 4, whole cow if you are like me and eat a ton of beef, or like family of like kind of 5+, or you can like split it amongst neighbors and friends and family.
How much does a whole cow cost?
Usually, doesn't it say on the website? Why are you putting her on blast like that?
Well, it's a little tricky because it like each cow does vary in weight a little bit.
Right.
So usually it's about like $5,000 to $6,000, just kind of depending. But then that's a year's worth of beef that you don't have to go.
Oh, for sure.
get from anywhere.
Dude, going off the just the hunting season, going and getting like one elk, I'm locked and loaded for the whole year.
That's awesome.
Like as soon as that's it. There's no freezer. Flip.
I love beef. Like I could eat beef every day, every meal. I could have steak and eggs for breakfast
All day.
I could have like a ground, some type of ground beef bowl for lunch, and then I could come home and have some like steak and potatoes and whatever vegetable you feel like making. I don't care. Not me making, but like maybe Catherine, because Catherine makes good vegetables. But yeah, that could be 3 meals a day for me.
No, I'm like obsessed with meat.
Like I don't need anything else. Steak and eggs.
I literally force myself to eat chicken, which is hardly ever, just because I like.
I've been eating a lot of chicken, but it's only because it's my go-to. It's because, you know what? If I had all of this beef, I would only eat beef.
Well, now you have a website.
I do.
I want to know, like, what have you learned through this process? Because you're so young, and you've walked through a lot of not only just being an entrepreneur, taking over the family business, losing your mom, being in, I think, especially as a 15 or 16-year-old, I think that like mind, or that state of mind of like, what is life, or what am I doing, or even not wanting to like exist and be here. I think that's more frequent than we talk about. And now that you're in the position that you are in today and have walked through a lot of very difficult moments, what have you learned in this process, in this journey, through the grief and through kind of navigating to where you are today?
There's a few quotes that I am constantly going back to. Of first, eventually all waves settle. This too shall pass. But I think more than anything for me, it's just been my faith in the Lord, and just that there's a higher power, and life does have purpose and meaning, and it's not guaranteed that it's going to be perfect, but every storm I've gone through has always made me stronger, and sometimes I've become too strong, try to do it all by myself, but then that gives me the ability to help someone else. So now when like someone I know loses a parent, now I'm like, I get what that feels like, so I can show up and I can love them well. But also sometimes life's just hard, and it's so hard, and you don't know if you can keep going. But just like the sun rises every morning, there will be light again. Like there will be a rainbow. The sun will rise, and it'll be a beautiful sunrise. And sometimes it's just like, just take the next right step. And yeah, also like going through a storm gives you the authority over a storm. And so it's just like that. I'd never wish what I've gone through on anyone, but I also would do it all over again because of who I am and how I've grown as a person, how I've been able to love people better, how I've grown in my faith, and just like realizing that life, while is short and precious, it's also full of like meaning, and it shouldn't be raced away or spent on things that just make us busy and chaos. And there's like so many beautiful things in life, and so it's just like a reminder to keep going, and like the sun will rise again.
Were you raised in having faith?
Yeah, my mom had super strong faith, and just like a solid foundation, and I always saw that growing up. But I always had a hard time because faith, like, it just seems so religious and strict and boxed, and I was like, I want nothing to do with this, thank you.
Yeah.
Because I'm just like, I don't like being in a box. I don't like being told what to do. And so really in that moment when I did hit rock bottom, and like, I don't know what changed, but I just believed in God. And even when like my mom was so sick and everything with that, like that was all I had to lean on. And I think if I didn't have that, I don't think I would still be here, or definitely not be where I'm at now. Because like we are loved by a creator. Like our lives are precious. We're not created on accident. There's a purpose to each of us. And we're all designed to have connection to Jesus. And it's not a boxed religious checklist thing. It's so much better. It's like riding through a field on the back of a horse and just that freedom and the joy, or watching a sunrise, or it's those beautiful little moments where like that's like heaven leaking down to earth. And that's beautiful. And so, yeah, I think just everything I've been through has just strengthened that faith, but also give me more purpose of like, this is a bigger mission. Because anybody could have a meat company, and yes, it's hard and, it's challenging, but I'm like, I don't want to run a meat company. Actually, I just want to provide people with good, clean food so they have the energy to go live a life that is connected, that it does have meaning, that does have purpose, because that fulfills me way more than money or anything, because it's like, it's not about that. It's about the mission. And I think that's a mission that I've been given, and it's like every hard thing turned to good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you know what, you are on a mission too, because like I believe everybody's primary purpose is, number one, to be of maximum service to God and others. You know, so we serve God, and then we're of service to other people. And you know, Parker Pasture serves a purpose to humanity, to the longevity of humanity. Because if we keep going down the road that we're going down with the way that the processed foods are, I mean, I see it. I work in mental health and drug and alcohol treatment. Addiction is more rampant because mental health is more rampant. And there is a huge connection between what we eat and how we feel. You know, and if we're putting crap in our body, then on top of that, we don't want to go to the gym. We don't want to move our bodies. We don't want to do this stuff. I liked how you put the God concept together here, because like I don't do like the full like religious cycle. I'm a believer, but I stole it from her. I call myself a follower of Christ rather than the traditional Christian, because I don't want to be put in the box of religion. I like to have the personal relationship, and I do my own Bible study, and I do my own time with it, and then I gain what I gain from him on a personal level, and that's what's really working for me, and it's made me a better human being. You know, I don't have to sit here then and argue about somebody because their interpretation of the Bible is different than mine, you know, or that their religion is different than mine. It doesn't matter to me. I'm okay because I have a personal, my own personal relationship and experience, and I like that. Like I feel you with the whole, like, you know, being out there on just out in nature on a horse. I'd probably be like in the buggy though, not actually on the horse, because they scare me.
You would not be on a horse.
I'll be in the buggy.
Yeah.
They got.
You'd be on the little 4-wheeler or the side-by-side.
Yeah. I don't think they have those in heaven though. I'm probably gonna
have
have
everything.
I'm probably gonna have to figure out how to ride a horse when I get up there.
You'll be just fine.
Yeah, I will.
But I think it's powerful.
It is.
And it's all connecting, you know. It's like, it's funny because I don't know if you're in recovery or been in recovery or any of the rooms, but you spoke a little bit
like you have been in the room
like this
with us.
Like this too shall pass is a huge one, because like our emotions and our feelings are very much ebb and flow. They're fleeting. They come and they go, you know, from joy to happiness to sadness and everything in between. But like the one thing that is a standstill is like my relationship with him. And it's like, as long as I seek my relationship with him, seek his word, all is well, because his word is so comforting. And like when you gave the analogy, like he's talking about when he wouldn't be on a horse at all, but I can imagine it of
me on a horse, or
just I can visualize like the freedom.
Yeah,
That's
the
what
freedom.
It is.
Yeah.
Yep.
once you are able to take out off the shackles that humans put on us by boxing people into this religious type thing, which is actually not what Jesus ever wanted in the first place, and you're able to explore that, the freedom in oneself is something that I hope that every human can experience, because we put so much on our oneself, like these false narratives, and usually they're negative. You mentioned how your journey through it has allowed you to be more loving towards others, but what I see is someone who has found to love themselves, through that process, because being at 15 or 16 and wanting to not be here anymore, that's and I only speak it because I've been there too, is like someone that doesn't love themselves, and that's like couldn't be further from the truth. So me hearing you speak is beautiful, because it's like you clearly found the love for yourself because you found the love that he has for you. And I think that is the whole mission. That's why mind, body, and soul, and you being here today and talking about the food that we have, it's so much more than just a nutritious thing that we need to live. It's like it nourishes our soul. It's like these animals, it's a cycle of life. And if we don't support places and farmers and ranchers like yourself and others that are doing it, people don't realize like what's happened is not that the farmers and ranchers, yes, of course it'll put you guys out of business, but our animals are going to die too. And like they'll start to all obviously be less than, and then all of a sudden disappear. And then what? And then what are we going to do?
Eat each other. I mean, honestly,
I mean,
it would come down to terrible stuff would happen.
Yeah, I mean, we're not in a good place, like, at all. Like, people shy away from, like, where we're at. Look at us as a society. From, like, a healthy standpoint to, like you were saying. I mean, him and his family have been in the substance abuse and addiction space for over 2 decades. And the increase in just, like, a mental health aspect. And you don't think, I mean, people can come for me all they want, but you don't think that food plays into it? Yes, of course, drugs and alcohol, absolutely. But food is a form that plays a huge role too.
The food part comes first though, because it causes. There's studies. It shows the ADHD.
Sure.
Processed sugar.
The blue 40s, the red 40s, all that nonsense that they
all
were popping kids.
And I am a believer and an advocate of eating single ingredient food.
Yes.
That's what we're meant to eat. I'm also a carnivore. I don't do the carnivore diet, but like because I don't. It doesn't work. I don't feel as great. Mm-hmm. Like I need a little bit of carbohydrates in my system. But I'm big on that. And especially like what you're saying, what it says here, meat free of additives and chemicals and processed food and processing. It's huge.
I mean, it's sad that that's where we're at. It's sad that we have to have these conversations, because technically, like, meat should have been, like, if you're naturally assuming when you go to the grocery store and you see a packaged thing of meat, I'm not thinking that it's getting pumped full of, like, hormones or getting, like,
being fed corn now that's not supposed to.
Well, and
eat
like
corn.
Overgrowing their bellies where they look insane. Like, people need to start really thinking about, because I know a lot of people want to go for like hunters and things too, where it's like, go to a slaughterhouse, go take that visit and go see what is really happening.
You become a vegetarian if you do. If you go to one of those places.
That is true.
I mean, you saw the movie way back when with Michael Myers, Mike Myers, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what his name was.
Mm-hmm.
Where they were doing the McDonald's thing, and they were showing how that McDonald's pushes the cows around with tractors inside of a barn filled with tens of thousands of cows. That's not how cows are supposed to be raised. And even
how sad.
When an animal, any animal, including us, when we know we're gonna die, we release chemicals in our muscles stiffen up. Everything's it's. Mm-hmm. What do you know about that? Because I say things and I'm like, I don't know a lot about it, but
I've heard.
I have heard, because I've actually never actually killed an animal.
But it's true though, like.
But my dad was raised on a farm up in Canada. So what do you know about that? About animals being killed, even inhumane, or knowing that they're going to die before they
Get slaughtered.
before they get slaughtered?
I think it's an important thing to think about, that for something to live, something must die. And it's such a heavy subject. Like, I know other countries, like, it's totally normal, but it's like we have this taboo thing in America about death. And there was a period where I was like, okay, I'm gonna be a vegetarian because I don't want to like kill animals, because like it's there's something, I don't know if sad's the right word, but there's like, it is a life that then ends. And when an animal is in confinement, like 90%, or I think it's like 99% of chicken or pigs, they never see the light of day. They're just crowded in a barn, and then they're harvested for meat, and then we eat that meat for an animal that was like never had an actual good life. Like, that's awful. I probably would be vegetarian in that circumstance, versus animals that are on pasture, that are like chickens that are eating bugs, and they're being moved and rotated, and they're on grass, or cows when they get so excited moving to fresh pasture that they're bucking and they're running as fast as they can, where it's a joyful animal because it's in its natural element. And then, that animal's harvested for meat, but what a good life it had. And then we get to be nourished by that animal. We get to honor that animal by being nourished by it. Like, I love what you're just saying about hunting, because like, it's such a beautiful cycle. And it's like, I think that's how most meat should be, is it should have been from an animal that lived an amazing life in the way that God intended, like a cow eating grass. And then, yes, it is harvested for meat, but it wasn't pumped full of a bunch of chemicals. It wasn't like so obese that if it doesn't get killed on time, it's literally going to die because of how obese it is. It's like, there's just all these things where it's like, no, it was an animal that lived well, that then that meat gets to nourish us. Like, that to me is so beautiful.
Yeah, they talk about the fact that if the cows, and just any animal that is in a barn and being pushed around and not in its natural environment, they're full of anxiety. And then we're eating that anxiety.
Dude, I believe in it. I believe in that.
For sure.
I really do.
You don't think anxiety lives in our body? It certainly does. So would you rather have that, or would you rather have this over here where it's lived the life that it's supposed to live and excited and happy? I feel like if you're going to eat meat, you might as well eat happy meat.
I agree.
I know that sounds funny, but and I'm a meat eater. I love meat. Like, my favorite thing is like beef, steak.
Dude, I believe in it so much that a bitch went to hunting.
Yeah, I went hunting.
Like,
and then you hung up your hunting animal in.
I'll show Chloe. I'm sure she'll like it.
Yeah.
Everybody vetoed me.
It's not about the fact that she hung that. It's when you go in her office and you see it looking all pretty, and then all of a sudden there's what is it? An elk head?
Yeah.
What is an elk exactly? What is an elk? What is an elk? Either one of you? No? Okay. All right.
You know what an elk is.
It's like a deer?
Chloe.
It's a ruminant animal that eats grass. That's what I got.
What do they look like? Do they look like deers?
They look a little bit like a deer.
Yeah, they're bigger than a deer.
They're bigger than a deer?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
Bambi.
That's what my brother says.
Your brother does.
Yeah, he said he killed Bambi. But
was yours a female or a male?
No, an elk is
it's a male.
Yeah,
yeah, it's got the.
And then like the doe is the one with like no horns.
There we go. Is that an elk?
Yep, that's an elk.
Look at them. They're like majestic creatures when you're out there. It's like beautiful. It's the most beautiful experience I've ever had. Honestly, just watching them and like hearing them call too is insane. It's like, talk about putting you on a.
Wow.
Yeah, and like think about it. Why are you laughing?
Yeah, but Emily's over there like this. I look over at Emily, and Emily's like, I don't know what an elk is either.
Well, there you go.
A giant deer is what they are. Guys, we have pictures of the elk and they're big deers. I've had bison. I like bison. Bison's is pretty good.
Bison's great.
Mm-hmm. But I am a big, just, a cow eater. A cow eater.
All day. Like this.
Oh, I'm doing my best, man. It's, so it's been a long day.
If you could have one message, especially because of your generation, because you are so young, to young people about food and health, what would it be? Because I coin every time on this podcast, these guys are telling
Health
me.
is wealth.
That's
I'll
my
spit
coin.
it out for her.
That's my thing. Because if
Health is wealth.
it is,
Would you rather be healthy or wealthy?
Healthy.
Healthy. Because if you're healthy, you still have
Yeah,
a
make
chance of
money.
becoming wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
If you're wealthy and not healthy, all the money in the world might not get you better.
Yep. It's very true.
So her question was, if you could get one message out to young people about the food and health, what would it be?
What we eat matters, and what we eats matters. And you're designed to be intimately connected to the land, to the animals, to where your food comes from, and to God. And sometimes what is portrayed in the world is not actually real, and we need to return back to things that are real. And that's beef from a cow that ate grass, that's phoned down to watch a sunset, that's having conversations like this where it's real and authentic and not scrolling through social media. And yeah, there's light just beyond the clouds.
I really liked what you said. What you eat matters, and what you eat. How did you say it?
What you eats matters.
Matters.
Yeah.
I mean, so true.
Mm-hmm.
It is so true. And I like that you brought in the social media aspect, because do you know how many people every day see something on social media and they're like, oh, this, and it's just a social media trend. It's not even real. Like, now I have to start eating like this, and the truth is how you should eat is what I've said over and over again. First off, good meat, and it really does matter what that meat is eating. It really matters. And then, like, single ingredient food.
Exactly.
Like, you don't have to, guess what? And if anybody doesn't know what a single ingredient food is, you go to the grocery store, any store. Don't go to the grocery store. Go to the farmer's market. See, grocery stores are going to hate me. Go to the farmer's market. Grab a thing of lettuce. And the ingredient of that lettuce is one thing. It's lettuce. It's difficult, right? Like, grass-fed beef, like real grass-fed beef, that's one ingredient. That's all it is beef.
That's all it should be. But it's not, because if you're looking at a package
Well, if you're looking at a package and it says more than that,
and like a bunch of words that you cannot pronounce, not good.
not good.
Yep. Exactly.
I mean, and then what you cook it with matters. What do you guys cook? What do you cook with when you cook meat or anything on the stove with fire?
I actually got some pans that Gary Brecka recommends. I can't remember what they're called.
Caraway or something?
Yeah.
Are they those ones? I got Hexclad. Our COO, she's like a huge cook, and Hexclad is bomb.
Really?
Yes, they're a super good, best pan I've ever tried.
That's awesome.
I know, it's amazing.
I know,
They
and
don't
she
stick.
cooks-
They don't do. I mean, they're
She cooks all my
expensive.
stuff in,
She has a Hexclad.
what is that stuff called? Ghee.
Oh, ghee's great.
Yep. Ghee. Yep. Butter.
Yep. Ghee or grass-fed
I do
butter.
I do.
Yep. Or beef tallow.
Beef
beef
tallow
tallow's
is really
great.
good. Yeah.
I do Kerrygold Irish butter.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
It's great.
Is it? Oh,
yeah.
okay.
It's grass fed.
All right.
Wait a minute.
We got to double check that.
Don't listen to
You
everything
guys
I
don't
say.
sell butter, do you?
No, I think about it though.
Butter to be a good one.
Let me see before I
mean, because think about it. Like, before we, and I don't even know that we're really truly over.
grass fed butter.
Yes.
Pure Irish.
Yes. But remember what she said, labels and labeling.
I know.
doesn't
Yeah, I'm like,
necessarily matter.
I'm pretty sure that's right.
If Gary recommends it, no, I'm just kidding. I don't know if he's the
No, don't listen to any like one person. I feel like you got to do your own. You got to
do your own research
with everything.
yep. And then also taste, like, food is so interesting because if you taste it, usually you can figure out, like, a tomato from the store. I can't.
Yeah, dude.
Like, it tastes like cardboard. There's no
Yes.
flavor versus farmer's market. And it's like flavor and nutrients are directly tied together. So if you can taste a difference, then there's probably a difference.
Such a good analogy because I just had tomatoes off of someone's garden. Bomb. I could eat it literally like an orange, like
Yeah.
or like a apple. You know, just
So
like
good.
pop them. And my mom, she has a little garden, so she, you know, she's like, look at my tomatoes. But at the store, forget about it.
It's
They're
disgusting.
disgusting. They're not even like, why even put them in a salad? They're not gonna
and
do anything.
I also
for
do
you.
want to point out that going to a farmer's market, you don't have to, like, just because it doesn't have a certified organic at the farmer's market doesn't mean that it's not bomb.
Yep.
Because it cost them like 10 grand or something like that to get that.
thing.
Yeah, so
Gosh.
I learned all of
Broken.
this stuff from Chi.
Oh,
We got
okay.
G and we got Chi. Chi has taught me a lot about going to the farmer's market. I mean, she knows all the farmers, the local farmers.
It's awesome.
And, you know, it's great to know all of this stuff.
Yep. It's just like, you just ask questions. Like,
Yeah. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy.
Nope. Yeah. I went to the farmer's market just the other day and there was someone selling goat cheese and I saw the ingredient list, met with the people who were doing it and immediately bought a ton because I was like, I trust this. I don't have to look for labels. I don't have to, like, I can just ask questions. How is this raised? Did you use chemicals? Like, just ask the questions and then, you know, because honestly, labels don't really mean anything. And it's like, yeah, just know who's growing your food, know what they're doing to it. They shouldn't be doing anything to it. And then eat that.
Yeah. I was actually excited when I got the email from you. And sometimes I miss those emails in the actual Hopeaholics email. And I was like, oh, yeah. Oh, this is dope. I want to talk about beef. I want to talk about this on the podcast. So I'm super excited that you came out and, did this episode with us. Stoked.
And for everybody that wants to go not only support but also get their meat, and now I'm on the website.
Yeah, so you'll start going down the rabbit hole on the website because like I don't even know I don't even know where I'm about to start, but I promise you, my order will be coming from here. We might as well just do it as like a team.
Together.
Yeah, like because we've got like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, probably like 5 of us.
Oh, but see,
And what about
this is great. You can get a dinner table box. That's
Yeah,
where it's at.
I already saw the dinner table box. So like everybody, please go check out parkerpastures.com. That's all it is. parkerpastures.com. You can go buy a box. You can buy a cow.
Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is like, especially for somebody that is just like thinking about it, trying about it. I mean, you could get.
How long does it take to get the whole cow? I mean, I have like serious questions.
Calm down. You're not getting a whole cow.
Huh?
You're not going to do a whole cow.
Why not?
Do you have a big freezer?
There's
your
like
garage?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 of us.
Oh yeah, we would actually. Yeah, you're never.
That'd be the best way to do it.
Yeah, I take it back.
Yep.
Don't listen to me. You're right.
I mean, yeah, there's some we could deliver to you next week. Or I just took in some beef to the butcher that'll be ready in a few weeks. So.
That's what's awesome too. Is like what people are so they don't misunderstand is that when you get your meat. So when we did the elk each season, is like you take it to a butcher and then you can decide how you want it. Where it's like I got sausage out of it, and like I'm looking at here for just the dinner table box, you can get 8 steaks, ribeye, sirloin, New York filet. You can get a roast. You can get 10 pounds of ground beef. Like, that's what's cool, is that it's not what one, like,
I don't have my glasses on, so I can't read. I'm just looking at the pictures.
short ribs, fajita meat, stew meat. That's what's crazy, is like when you're thinking of an animal, like you have to think of all the parts of the meat. Like, it's not just, like, my favorite is a ribeye. Like,
I clicked on something. I think it was the quarter cow. Free bones and organs if I order
Dude,
in 26.
I would give my dog, I have a Belgian Malinois, the elk bones.
If I order
So
in
good.
26
So good.
minutes, does that mean I can, if I get free bones, if I get the bones, can I eat the inside of the bones like I had this weekend? What's that stuff called? The marrow. The
Marrow,
bone.
yeah. Yep, marrow. That's so good. And then knuckle bones are good for like a bone broth. Yeah, and then like I can't stand this taste of beef organs, to be honest. And so I started making an ancestral blend, which is like 10% heart and liver mixed with the ground beef. Because like I know they're so nutrient dense, but the idea of eating liver, I just can't do it. So I do that, and then one of my friends has a business and she makes beef liver capsules, rewilding, and so it's like Parker Pasture's beef liver in a capsule.
Oh, that's
and
awesome.
so I take that, and I notice a difference when I'm like take it versus when I don't, because I'm not huge into supplements. They definitely can have their place, but beef is 80-90% bioavailable.
Yeah.
So your body can convert pretty much all the nutrients in beef. Versus supplements, it's a much lower percentage. And so I'm like, yep, beef is kind of my medicine too.
For sure. I agree. I love it.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah, thanks
I mean, it has to make you feel really proud as well, because like your mom has a hand on this for sure, and is looking down on just like what an amazing job you're doing.
Thank you. Yep, it's definitely a big honor to carry on her legacy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and you carry yourself like somebody who is you're much more mature than your age.
Mm-hmm.
So keep doing what you're doing, and keep saving lives. I mean, this saves lives.
Yeah.
This saves lives. People don't know that. Like it also, I also want to point out that eating like this saves you money.
Yes.
It does.
That's the part that people don't know. Not just the fact that you can buy it like this, but the fact that your medical bills will go down. The money that you spend on prescriptions will go down if you eat properly.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it's very true. It's an investment, and like healthy food, it's like there might be a little bit of sticker shock because sticker shock.
Yeah.
Because cheap food is subsidized, and so it's cheaper, but good food costs more. But it is an investment. Like, you are going to feel better. You are not going to have the medical bills. It's like, it's worth the investment. Like, spend money on good food. It's worth it.
Yeah, and you know what? You actually eat less of good food because you're what is the word?
It's nutrient dense. So
yeah,
like your
so
body isn't
you get
like
satiated.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Is that the right word? I don't want to
believe
use the
so.
wrong
I
word
think
and
it
sound
is.
like
Yeah.
an
I think
idiot.
that's correct.
I got the young people over there that just got out of college nodding. I said the right thing. I did not go to college, and if I sucked in at school, it was reading and writing, and my vocabulary is small. But yeah, again, thank you.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Appreciate you. You have our support, definitely.
110%.
Thank you both so much, and thank you for doing what you're doing. And this might be untraditional, but I wanted to ask if it's okay if I close in prayer.
Oh, of course.
Absolutely. I would
We're
love
believers.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome. Father, I just thank you for just your hand on this podcast, Lord. I just thank you for the things that you are moving around, Lord. I just pray for peace as people just listen to this, Lord, that there would just be conviction, Lord, and just peace, Lord, anywhere there's just, especially just struggles of the mind, Lord, or swirling thoughts, Lord, that would just cease in Jesus' name right now. I just declare so much peace over everyone that this will hear this through their ears, that any just influence that is not of you would stop, any tormenting would stop in Jesus' name right now, Lord. I just thank you that you have your hand upon each and every person who is listening to this. And Lord, I just ask for divine guidance, that this would just, you would just open the eyes of your people, Lord, and that there would be freedom and chains would fall off. Lord, that we would just all rise in freedom, that we would just have that freedom of being on the back of a horse and just going, and that any shackles that are holding us back from that would just be severed off, Lord, and that there would just be clear minds, Lord. I just thank you for just bringing clear minds, sound minds, and just freedom from addiction, freedom from just the poison of our food, that there would just be healing. And I just speak and declare all of this in Jesus' name, Lord. And I just thank you for just the protection just around everyone in this room, Lord, and just the way that you're just going to continue to just bless this, Lord, and just the wisdom and the Holy Spirit just poured out upon this place. In Jesus' name, amen.
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 Love it. Thank you so much.
Thank you.